1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Part was we were just waiting on Monday, waiting for the phone to ring to confirm it's all gone through, because we knew Everton had accepted the offer from Palace. And it seemed to them, and it seems to me, that Palace just had a change of heart. And I don't know, did they let Everton know? Or apparently there's a list, club, if it's a bit over the time, I think the window closed about 7, was it? 7:30 Monday evening. If it's after that, you can, just before then, put a list of players you're in the process of doing the paperwork. And his name didn't appear on that. So clearly Palace had decided not to. But anyway, Megan was saying that I think she's been ill recently, and the club were very good. But Dwight's mental health will suffer because of this. He was so excited, and now, and so on. And eventually she said, well, we're going to buckle down, and, we're grateful for what football gives to us, and so on. But she said, football is a brutal game. She said, we know that. And I just think it shouldn't be taken for granted that players' mental health doesn't matter. There shouldn't be, the way it seems to be. So she gave a long note and a very well written note. And I think for me, there's pros and cons. I can see exactly what she means. That just because you've got a lot of money doesn't mean to say you don't suffer mental health issues, and so on. Equally, the other side is, well, for a lot of people, if they don't get the job they're looking for, it means financially they're desperate to go and find another job. There's adversity in people's lives. So rather than Premier League footballers who have everything looked after, if their families are not well, the club will look after them, as they did in Megan's case by all accounts. And obviously the footballers well looked after. If they have problems, the club will normally help them out in all sorts of ways, which don't happen to most people, I guess. And they've got a job which will be the dream of many youngsters, and I think Megan probably made that point. On balance, I have a lot of sympathy with what she said. She shouldn't be dismissed, as I think some people are doing, simply because she and her partner Dwight earn a lot of money. I mean, let's think, he's probably on £50,000-60,000 a week. Now, that's not a high wage for a Premier League player, but for someone in his position, £50,000 or £60,000 a week. Before, he'll be earning a few million a year, which is not in the gift of most people. So A lot of people seem to be saying, well, what have they got to moan about? What have they got to worry about? Well, of course, people do have things to worry about, but so does everybody. And at least they can be cosseted by, just looking at their bank account. I mean, I'm not suggesting that money is a secret of happiness. I mean, it can help. We all know that. But to suggest that, you've got a lot of money, therefore life must be great. No, but he does have a great job. If he were to be sacked tomorrow, he'd still be all right financially. He'd get another job at another club. Personally, I'm a bit disappointed in Palace that they didn't apparently go through the motions of making sure that Dwight McNeil knew as early as possible that it wasn't going to proceed, because it seems they were left and they heard nothing right up to the whole day, I think. So that was not well handled. The other side of that is, I think football is in many ways a brutal game. Not both physically to play it, it's a brutal game, but also in all the stuff, all the noise around it. It's a pretty brutal place to be. It's a tough job being a professional footballer in that top league. Yeah, you get well paid for it, but it is a tough job. So I do believe there's mental health issues, and I think I get the impression she may have suffered from some of those, and possibly him as well, before this. So I have sympathy, but at the bottom line is, I think
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
bottom line is, I think the scales are a bit equal. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Sorry for what you feel, but don't, on the other hand, you've got a lot to be, as you said, you've got a lot to be thankful for. And it's a new day, and there's always a new day, and we all have to pick ourselves up, don't we, and get on with it when problems come into our own lives. So I have sympathy with her, but I'm not 100% that, oh, well, football has really done them down. I mean, football looks after them, basically, and I hope it works out in future. I still kind of hope we get him in the summer. I'd still like to take him on. I think he's quite a good player.
All right.
And I would take him then, when perhaps things have calmed down and when we got a new manager by then. But yeah, it's very interesting to read her notes, wasn't it?
Yeah. When I read it, I thought, well, it's a woman, and I'm not saying.
Hang on, what do you mean? Hang on a minute. I'll pick you up on that. What do you mean? Oh, well, it's a woman. What does that mean? I'm sure you didn't mean that, cuz.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean it that way. I just meant, women are ruled by emotions. That's what I mean. Men are a bit different, but women, mostly emotions.
Generalization, but I know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Now, I'd just like to go back to the Carabao Cup last night with Arsenal and Chelsea. Now, pre and post. So pre-post match interview, Liam
Rosinha,
that's it. Rosinha, they said, right, so how are you approaching this game? He said, well, this game is a must win. We must win this game. We must. And when the game started, I saw why. So it was a 3-2 aggregate in favor of Arsenal. So he had to win to stand any chance or score a goal at least. Arsenal didn't have to score a goal. They just needed to not concede a goal.
Not concede, yeah.
Yeah, to then go through. So anyway, he said, oh yeah, we must win. He said, well, so you're going to win. He said, yeah, that's the mentality we're going to. He said, what if you don't win? He said, it has to happen. We have to. He was that sure that he was going to win.
Yeah.
And then I waited for the post-match interview. So the post-match interview, visibly he was down. Visibly, you can tell from his demeanor, from his face and facial expression and everything. And then he said something. He said, yeah, so the
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on